this video, we are tasked to determine the procedure of activating the electronic chart display and information system. What is display information? How Ecdis operates depends on what type of chart data is used. The electronic navigational chart and raster nautical charts are approved for use in Ecdis. By definition, both ENC and RNCs are issued under the authority of National Hydrographic Offices. The Ecdis functions as true Ecdis when used with corrected ENC data, but Ecdis operates the less functional chart display system, or the RCDS, which has mode when using corrected RNC data. When Ecdis is used with non-official vector chart data, corrected or not, it operates in the ACS mode. The symbols of Ecdis are used on the familiar paper chart symbols with some optional extras such as simplified buoy symbols that show up better at night, since the Ecdis can be customized to each ship's requirements. The new symbols were added, such as highlighted mariner selectable, safety contour, and prominent isolated danger symbol charts that are approved for use in Ecdis.
Of Ecdis. How Ecdis operates depend on what type of chart data is used. ENCs, or electronic navigational charts, and RNCs, or raster nautical charts, are approved for use in Ecdis. The IHO Ecdis standard, the S52 specifications for chart contained and displays aspect of Ecdis and its Annex A. The IHO presented library PL for Ecdis comprised a set of specifications plus a symbol library, color tables, lookup tables, and symbolization rules, which link every object, class, and attributes of the Ecdis International Database ENC to the appropriate presentation of the Ecdis display. The PL provides details and procedures for implementing the display specifications contained in S52 by decoding and symbolizing the elements of the SENC. It contains number 1, the Ecdis Symbols Library, 2, the Ecdis Color Table for day, dusk, and night viewing, 3, lookup tables with symbology instructions linking SENC objects to the appropriate color and symbol, and giving their EMO category through priority over radar, and suggested viewing group. 4, conditional symbology procedures, cases where symbolizing depends on circumstances such as mariner's choice of safety contour, cases where symbolizing is too complex to be defined in a direct lookup table. Number 5, description of the symbology instructions. Mariner's navigational objects specified in the same format as chart objects for convenience in processing in Ecdis. And number 7, complementary features such as Ecdis chart. 1 is color differentiation test, diagrams, color calibration software.
Adjusting display. Brightness brilliance for MK15. The display brilliance is adjusted by touching the illuminated plus and minus symbols on the panel computer. The entire area of text and symbols are visible as long as the unit is powered. Note that the only minus and plus are touch sensitive, while D and brilliance symbols are not. For MK5, the display brilliance is adjusted by pressing plus and minus keys on the monitor. The monitors are color calibrated from factory and has its individual backlight brightness set point in accordance with the Ecdis standard. Note, for MK5, Ecdis approved brilliance setting is indicated with the green indicator in the Brill shortcut button. If the brilliance is changed on the monitors, the indicator changes to yellow. You return to Ecdis approved brilliance settings by selecting the Brill shortcut button. Note, for MK15, Ecdis approved brilliance setting is indicated with the word Ecdis, which is constantly illuminated in green as long as the unit is turned on. The plus and minus symbols will illuminate in red when the brightness is adjusted either above or below Ecdis factory calibration point. Set standard display, click the icon once or press F7 to enable standard mode of the ANC display. Note, when the system is using ARCS chart, clicking this icon will also enable the system to display the original ARCS chart scale. Note, switching to the standard display mode automatically changes the backlight to the calibrated values if they are different from currently used brightness calibration. Left click adds standard brills or brightness to the standard display mode. The action is performed for all color schemes, switching day, dusk, and night.
Good day, sir. I'm the Cadet Fiel Wilhelm Dave A, and today I will be discussing about procedures of activating Ecdis display information. Number 1, head over to task list. Number 2, select charts. Number 3, select layers or tab. Number 4, choose a display mode. Each mode varies on what kind of information you want to be displayed on the chart. That's all.
Safety domain. Number 1, head over the task list. Number 2, select monitoring tab. Number 3, select the safety alarm tab. The Ecdis safety frame is the feature that offers for a warning of danger, primarily intended to prevent drowning. But this feature was switched off. Appropriate safety settings are of paramount importance for Ecdis display. These settings control how the Ecdis present deep information, making it easier to visualize areas of water that are safe for the vessel to navigate in from those which or not.
Safety contour. The safety contour is the most important parameter of all the safety settings for the display of unsafe water areas. It detects isolated danger and triggering anti-grounding alarms. The safety contour is basically an outline which marks the division between safe and unsafe waters. The color blue is used to indicate the unsafe areas, while the white or gray for safe areas. The default safety contour is not specified by the mariners is set to 30 meters. The blue color in the traditional paper chart does not provide a vivid picture of shallow water. Example, the dips mentioned in the blue part of the paper chart may be shallower for a deep draft vessel, while safe for vessel with a smaller draft. Unlike paper charts, Ecdis allows an officer to set safety parameters according to the ship's static or dynamic particulars. The safety contour can be calculated as follows. Safety contours equals ship's draft plus squat plus UKC minus height of tide. Contours are present in the values of 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 and so on. If the value set by the mariner is not available among the available depth contours, Ecdis select the next deepest available contour in the ANC.
Safety depth setting. The sole purpose of the safety depth is to portray spot soundings either in gray for deeper depths or black for shallower depths compared to to the safety depth value entered by the navigating officer, thereby highlighting the potentially safe and unsafe areas. The safety depth value has no effect on alarms or any other aspect of Ecdis. Safety depth is normally the ship's draft plus squat. Now the question is, why do we need to mention safety depth when safety counter can demarcate between safe and unsafe waters? It is also logically to select safety depth equals to safety counter. Some soundings on the shoulder side of the safety counter will be gray because they are deeper than the safety depth set by the mariner, although shorter than the safety counter selected by Ecdis. The depths below safety counter may not always be non-navigable. Suppose, for example, if safety depth and safety counter are set to 11 meters. The Ecdis will emphasize the depth counter equal or deeper than the selected counter, which say is 20 meters, whichever is available in the ENC. Thus, we can see that water areas with depths between 11 meters to 20 meters are navigable but are below the safety counter. This provides the mariner with additional information but where the ship good is required, and alarm will still sound. This could provide additional maneuvering room in a narrow passage where safe depth exists.
Admiralty Information Overlay. The AIO is a worldwide digital dataset that is designed to be displayed over ENCs and Ecdis and other chart display system to provide additional information during the passage planning. The IEO is refreshed every week as part of AVCS weekly update and is issued on desk by download. The weekly desk contains the base edition and all updates to date, so you only need to load the most recent desk on board. A new edition is issued approximately every 2 years after 90 weekly updates. You should have EIO active on your Ecdis screen during passage planning. Use the ENCs and route checking in the normal way. Nothing on the features that are described in the peak report as being temporary. Check your route with the Ecdis date set to the planned passage time. You may see colored polygons that are associated with Admiralty PPAR, TNP, and AMS issued by the UKHO. The temporary and preliminary notice to mariners will be giving you additional information that is not already included in your ENCs. You should then open the text of the notice using the Ecdis peak report to assess and include the information in your passage plan as necessary.
Procedures on activating Admiralty Information Overlay. First, go to Navisailor, then click Overlays tab and AIO Charts tab. Second, click Show AIO to display AIO Overlay. And lastly, click on the AIO Layer Control to filter the AIO Objects information. To view AIO data or Admiralty Information Overlay data, first, click I icon at toolbar to query the ENC peak report. Second, click on the Display AIO polygon box and peak report window will appear. Next, click Highlight to identify the AIO area. And lastly, at Info tab, view AIO information such as ENC affected, supporting textual information, and attach text or picture file reference. Click on the file to view the information in details. That's all for our report. Hope you've learned something. Thank you and God bless.